Hi, and welcome to Through the Grace. Today, I wanted to share something with you in regards to what Paul referred to as the man of sin and the son of perdition. Okay, so let's get right into it. I was reading the Bible. I was reading Second Thessalonians chapter 2. I believe it was like last week, again, and all of a sudden, as I was reading through chapter 2, a new thought occurred to me that maybe Paul was actually using the term "the man of sin" in more of a term that would apply to humanity, like a group of people, like who knows how big the group would be, right? But and in that case, a lot of people say that as you're reading through the New Testament is actually written to the church, right? So it'd be something that we'd have to be watching out for potentially in the church, the body of believers. Okay, so this term, the man of sin, might be that state of humanity. Okay, and so as I started thinking about that, I'm really weighing it to see if it fits or not. And by the end of this video, you'll have to judge for yourself whether or not you think it fits. But it's something to watch for, I think. So as we're watching for this, I would say that we need to keep in mind that it could be that there's one dude that we're watching for. Okay, the man of sin, the son of perdition, otherwise known as the Antichrist. Okay, but it could be that if it's a state of people that they've become so sinful, right? Especially in the context of the great falling away. That's what he's talking about in Second Thessalonians chapter 2, as we're going to see. That it could be that we are already in the time of the man of sin. Okay, so bear with me. Let's take a look at a couple things because as I was reading through Ephesians, then I found a couple things. But there is something else I wanted to share with you first. So check this out. I got to be honest with you. After the elections that took place previously, I was thinking, man, if this one guy wins, then it's most likely that he's going to be a really good candidate for the man of sin, because especially after he had said this one thing.
For this, we have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
So that's something to keep in mind. And that really made me wonder what the heck is going on here because of the powers in the heavenly realms, right? The spiritual realms that we're actually battling against. But anyway, I mean, I kind of considered maybe he would be like a candidate for that guy if there's a guy we're watching out for, right? What about this guy? Here's another guy that I was thinking that is definitely a potential candidate. Even the all of the scholars, translators that got together and made the King James Version Bible, they in their introduction, which is hard to find, it's not in every King James version. They make mention about how the King James Version is the deadly wound. Okay, against this type of a power here, and how also having a Bible in your hand, it actually protects you against papal authorities. Okay, so that's another thing to keep in mind, right? What about this guy? Who's this? Well, this is Jared Kushner. This is President Trump's son-in-law, and it's important to note that he's Jewish and that he paid. I want to say, I'm probably going to mess up the number, but I think it was like 3 times more than what they were asking for this place off of Fifth Avenue in New York City. I believe it's Fifth Avenue. And the address is 666 Fifth Avenue. So he was very hard pressed to do that. He also is the one who was what they say is the brains behind the outfit for Trump's administration. I mean, he was going around doing all these international deals and really making things work where other people couldn't make it work. I mean, he's like a genius. Okay, this guy's super smart. He is also the signature of the Abraham Accords, which took place in I believe it was August of 2020. And so, and I mean, in all honesty, something I'm watching out for in that regard is a time times and half a time, right? Which would land us in I believe it's February of 2024. So that's something I'm watching for. But anyway, let's get into Ephesians chapter 3, verse 16 is what we're looking at right here. So it says, and now the context here is to the church, okay? It's to multiple people, it's the body of believers, all right? Got to understand the context of the section. And this is what really caught my attention when I was reading Ephesians today. Verse 16, that he would grant you, according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might by his spirit in, look at this, the inner man, okay? I just underlined that for those of you who could see. In the inner man right there, okay? So he's using this term in the inner man. It's a very general term. All right, now let's check out this other one. Okay, so, and then in chapter 4 is where I'm at now in Ephesians, verses 20. I'm going to read 20 through 22 here, all right? So we can see some of the context. Remember in King James Version, anytime it says ye, ye, it's talking to plural, many people, okay? Anytime it says the, it is to singular. So this section, just to establish what I'm talking about here, is talking to plural people. Here we go. But ye have not so learned Christ. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, okay? That's what I'm talking about right here. The old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, all right? And be renewed by in the spirit of your mind. I'm just going to go ahead and read the whole thing, okay? Because the next part has to do with the same thing, okay? So, sorry, I'm new with this screen record thing, so I'm going to underline the old man again. Now, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man. See how he's using these terms? The old man, the new man. The last verse we read was the inner man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Now check this out. Okay, so the usage that he's using here, that I hope I'm driving this clear enough home here, that he seems to be using these terms: the old man, the new man, the inner man, and then in Second Thessalonians he uses the term the man of sin. All right, let's check that out and see what the context is there. Okay, so Second Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm just going to start reading it because I'm not sure how far I'm going to go, but hopefully you guys are familiar with this section. Check this out. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye, once again there's the ye plural, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. At this time period, he's trying to make sure that they understand that. He's saying it's not at hand yet because we're watching for this certain thing to take place. Okay, here's verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. I believe that that's happening right now. The church is falling away. We especially saw that as soon as these lock, and then I'll say a few words, downs took place, and a lot of churches just bowed down. You know, they just started falling right in line. And if any of you are familiar with the persecuted church, this has already been taking place all over the world when the government gets involved and they try to start influencing the churches and putting their idolatry and their government beliefs into a church, okay? And what's his name? John MacArthur, he was one of the few pastors who stood up against this tyranny. And it was amazing what he did, and faced being arrested, and he had all sorts of fines being put on him, on his church, everything. And so, anyway, this falling away, I believe, is happening still, and it has been happening. It's really sad. It's really sickening to see what is taking place with this falling away. He said, except there come a falling away first. Okay? Here's the key part, right? This is what I was talking about. Let me see if I can underline this, okay? And that man of sin, okay? That man of sin be revealed. The son of perdition, okay? Who, let me see if I can take this off now. That man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now it sounds like it's talking about just one guy, right there, right? So okay, let's watch for that still these days. That's fine, you know. But I'm not done yet. Check this out. There's still something else coming, and I'm going to show you. I'm just laying all the scriptures on the line here, okay? That we really need to weigh these things and keep this in mind. Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. I still think it's talking about he being the personage, like not one person, but the sinful nature of this group of people, the falling away, okay? Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. I believe that's talking about Christ falling away. They're no longer looking to Christ. Now he's out of the way. And then what's going to happen? Verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Here's another clue for me. This is kind of weird the way he phrased that. And then shall that wicked be revealed. He didn't say wicked one, right? It's like he's leaving it kind of open-ended, like that wicked be revealed, okay? Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him, now check this part out, okay? Pay attention, guys. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, here it is, in them that perish, okay? Let me back up a little bit, okay? It said, even him whose coming is, and then he throws all this stuff in there. Whose coming is, and if I were to jump down, okay, I could jump down to where it says, let me underline it, okay? So, whose coming is, and then if I jump down here, in them. Whose coming is in them. Now, if you look at all the stuff in between, all right, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, okay? It's all this stuff, and then it says, in them, all right, that perish. So my point is, obviously, that Paul seems to be consistent with his terminologies, that this man of sin that we're watching for is actually the state of the sinfulness of humanity, maybe, or the church, all right? Now, let me finish that last verse in verse 10, the last half there. Because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, all right? So, unfortunately, this is the case, and I will remind you guys that there's going to be a separation between the sheep and the goats in the judgment. The goats are going to be put on the left of Jesus, and the sheep are going to be put on the right, okay? Now, and then in these two groups, when God judges them, right, the lost are going to say, when did we see you hungry and thirsty and not do anything for you, you know? And he's like, whenever you did it, whenever you didn't do it to the least of these, my brethren, you didn't do it to me. Now, and then he says, depart from me, ye evildoers, right? Workers of iniquity. And then, I mean, that's it, dude. They're judged. What does he say to the saved, right? We don't see the saved people in this section, all right? This is the falling away people we were just looking at in this section. The saved people, when he says like, enter into the joy of your Father, because when I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was, hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was without clothing, you gave me clothing. And here's the thing about the body of Christ. Because we just do what the head, who is Christ, tells us to do, we're not sitting here even thinking about it when we do the things that our Father gives us to do. We just do it. We care about people. We love them because he's put his love in our hearts. And so our response to him at that time is going to be, Lord, when did we do this for you? And, when did we see you thirsty and give you something to drink? When did this happen, Lord? You know, and he's going to be like, whenever you did it to any of the least of these, you did it unto me. Now enter into the joy of your Father, right? It's going to be a great day, you guys. So I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for listening. God bless you. I hope that this is educational for you. And just to wrap this up, I think we really need to remain watchful here. This is just an indicator for me of what to actually be watching for. Maybe there's never going to be some dude that shows up on the scene and everybody's like, oh man, look at this guy. This is the guy solving all the problems. And for us believers, we've been watching for this. So he's the man of sin, or he's the Antichrist. It may not ever happen like that. And Hollywood certainly enjoys making a joke out of Christians for thinking of it that way, to be honest with you. It could be the state of the things that we see happening right now. We are seeing that man of sin revealed now in Paul's terminologies. That man of sin has been revealed, and any day the Lord could appear. Okay? God bless you guys. Thank you for your time.